Okay. So, start. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer, Dr. Zalilah. So today we are from group 3 going to present eugenics and gene therapy. Okay, these are the list of our presenter, which is Nur Fatih binti Abdul Aziz, Ariana Kamila binti Muhammad Yusof, Cik Nur Ifan binti Mazuki, Farah Amira binti Aaron Kartika, and me, Nur Shifaina binti Sharifuddin. So this is the flow of our presentation. Firstly, we're going to proceed with case study, then ethical question, background knowledge, stakeholders, value and concern, bioethical principles, and the last one is justification. So I will proceed to our next presenter, which is Farah Amira.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shifa. So for our case study, we took from movie The Perfect 46. So the movie tells about Jesse Darden, the CEO of genetic screening company, comes up with an internet startup that creates a web service, theperfect46.com, to analyze the genome of two prospective partners and give them the possible result of their coupling. Partners then know if their potential child is likely to develop genetic disorders such as sickle cell anemia and cystic fibrosis or not. Rather than try to find a cure for this disease, Darden hopes that in the future this disease will cease to exist because of selective breeding. The media started to accuse him of eugenics, but at first, he managed to clear the accusation by stating that he never forced any citizen to use the website, nor did he force the couple to go separate ways or force the woman to become fertile if the result comes out incompatible. After a year of giving service of the Perfect 46, the website becomes famous and received many demands to upgrade their website into a platform where people can search for their compatible partner. This attracts more of media attention due to similarities toward eugenics because people could use the service to not just find someone with whom their genetic combination will not result in a disease, but to also find someone who had desirable traits. Jesse said that people need to lower their egos and start thinking of the human race 500 years in the future. With the service they are providing, maybe in the future there will be 0% of children born with genetic disorders, and it is already proven that 1,500 children have already been born without genetic disorders thanks to the Perfect 46. After being pressed with eugenics, Jesse points out the real definition of eugenics, which is the study of how to improve the human race by genetics. Next. Jesse also said in the conference, maybe eugenics doesn't have to be a dirty word. After the conference, Curtis Winford, the CEO of Herring Company, reached out to Jesse to offer collaboration between their company. Curtis offers their best R&D effort to join hands with Jesse in the Perfect 46 projects, but is rejected by Jesse greatly because the advantages will be more on Curtis, not him. No matter how noble Jesse's intentions are, it was then ruled by a renegade glitch in his own algorithm, which resulted in the pairing of 308 couples who have a gene mutation and lead to the born of 24 children with late-stage disorders. Due to this error, 8 of them are died as this disease prevent the children from living more than 5 years old. As people start accusing Jesse of the cause of his origin, Jesse himself refused to take all blame and starting to suspect other people sabotage the algorithm. He also can accept the fact that there is so many people blame him, which did his institution and his company was sold to the government for investigation. Jesse said to one of his employees, Steve, his 0.05% were affected, other 99.5% were successful. Steve said that it is because the 0.05% affected is related to human life. After this tragedy, Jesse went to the solitude where he witnessed to develop his works and reflects on what went wrong with the algorithm. During this solitude moment, his house was broken into. by two intruders, and one of them is relative to the 0.05% affected users. Jesse learns that the intruder sister gets into a divorce with her husband when they lean on their which caused her to experience depression and hurt. So next, Miss Adriana will present.
And after that, she once again uses the perfect46.com website to search for the compatible partner, and after that, they got married and have a child. She learns that her child was diagnosed with sex disorders and died at the age of 8 months. Weeks after that, she killed herself. After learning the tragic story, Jessie said that I take the responsibilities toward the creation of system, and I take personal responsibilities for what happened to the children due to the system error. But your sister's reaction to the event is not my fault or my responsibilities. Only Jesse Darden knew the truth about himself being a short, odd-looking, obsessive-compulsive who wants to better the human race at the genetic level, and he is infertile. Despite his intention, he cannot accept to understand that some individual will their potential partner may pass on a serious genetic disorder, but he tends to push on it and unwilling to entertain the opinion of others. There's a scene where Jesse and a group of his friends are having a dinner at his house. The dinners went smoothly until Jesse brought up about the perfect46.com website, and a woman said that the website does not pique her interest. Jesse seems mad by saying that the woman does not want to know the truth in order to prevent the future generation from inheriting genetic disorders that she might have. One man stood up and said that it is the woman's right whether she wants or does not want to use the website, since it is related to her life, which leaves Jessie becomes upset. From the case study above, we can say that the ethical question arises is that do eugenics and gene therapy bring more benefits than adverse effects to human society?
We're going to proceed to background knowledge. Okay. Tak dulu. Background, tak dulu.
Tak aku cakap balik.
Okay, next we're going to proceed to background knowledge. So, Jesse Darden is the founder of a genetic screening company that creates the Perfect46 website, which gives services on pairing the perfect fit couple to avoid genetic disorder and match their compatibilities. The decisions are at the user hand whether to go separate way or talk it through and decide for an adoption. The Perfect46 version 2.0 going deeper into the concepts of eugenics as it allows the user to choose their compatible partner and also choose the desirable traits to be paired with. Eugenics defined as a study of how to improve the human race by encouraging couples with good traits to have children. Jesse does not accept the fact that a glitch occurs in the system which causes an error resulting in the birth of 24 gay-sex children which allow them to live only 5 years at most. Jesse began to suspect people sabotage him, and one of them is his competitor, Mr. Curtis, the CEO of Hayden Company, which before this tried to collaborate for research and development but were turned down by Jesse. Jesse cannot accept the fact that people make a fuss over his 0.05% failure, which caused him and his company to be closed. It shows that Jesse did not really treat people as a human being, as he said that only 0.05% were affected, which he did not realize that the 0.05% has caused 24 babies were born with Tay-sex disorders and were confirmed that they will not last long, and 8 of them already died. Jesse went into solitude to reflect on what happened to his creation and also find the solutions to fix it. Jesse's mind still focusing on how to improve the human race, to cease exist of the children born with genetic disease, to only born perfect and healthy children with no genetic disease.
Next, we will move on to the stakeholder, value and concern, and bioethical principle. So for this part, we divide it in supporting and against. For the supporting, there is 4 stakeholders, which is Jesse Darden, Curtis Owenford, user, and Jesse Swan, which is a man. Value for the Jesse, first is compassion. It is because he created the website, which is the Perfect 46, to lessen the people's suffering. And the bioethical principle for this is beneficent because it gives benefit to other people. Second value for Jesse is fairness, because he strictly follow what he believes in and doesn't easily be swayed by others. And bioethical principle for this is autonomy, because it is his right to believe what he wants to believe. And last value for Jesse is individual potential, because Jesse created this, the Perfect 46 website, in order to see the future where the next generation were born with no genetic disorder. And the bioethical principle for this is also beneficent. Next stakeholder is Curtis Owenford. The value is cooperation, because Curtis Owenford once reached out to Jesse to do collaboration between his company and Jesse's company to improve the Perfect 46 project. And bioethical principle for this is beneficent also. Next stakeholder is user or the consumer, those who use the Perfect 46 website. The value is sacrifice, because they are willing to sacrifice their love story in order to have a healthy child. And bioethical principle for this is autonomy, because they have their right to do what they want to do. And the last stakeholder for the supporting is Jesse's friend. The value is respect, because this man respect the woman's right when she said that she doesn't want to use the Perfect 46 website because it scares her. And this man respect her decision, saying that it is the woman's right to whether to use it or not. And the bioethical principle for this is also autonomy. Next, we will move to the against. There is only 2 stakeholders for against, which is Jesse Darden and user. The value for Jesse is first diversity. Diversity itself is wanting difference and variety. Meanwhile, Jesse, who created the Perfect 46 website, which allow the user to find a partner with the desired trait. This can cause the undesirable trait by the society, maybe such as the darker skin, will be gone in the future. And the bioethical principle for this is autonomy. Next value is humility. Humility is the feeling when you feel that you are no better than other person. But for Jesse's case, he feels that what he is doing is right and that he is better than other people. And bioethical principle for this is non-maleficent. Last but not least, the stakeholder is user or the consumer. The value is autonomy. Autonomy is that the people have their right to make their own decision. But there is one couple that choose to go separate way, which is divorce, after learning that they are incompatible to each other. Although they love each other, but they choose to getting divorced, which lead to one of the couple to have the depression. And the bioethical principle for this is beneficent. Next, we will move to the justification.
Okay, for the justification, our position towards this issue is we agree eugenics and gene therapy brings more benefit than adverse effect to human society. It is a fact that all of us want to have a generation with better physical and free from genetic disorders. The most affected group by our decision is the citizen. This is because they were able to get the desired trait for their children and at the same time avoiding the risk of getting genetic related diseases. And in this case, we are respecting the parents' right whether they want to use eugenics or not, because their children are their responsibility. Another alternative that parents can use if they do not want to use eugenic concept is treatment throughout medication and therapy. However, this medication and therapy fees are costly and not all family can afford it, which is why this gene therapy is more efficient. Next slide. All right, I think we have come to the end of our presentation. So I hope we can gain some knowledge from this session. And thank you for your cooperation throughout this presentation, and see you next time. Have a good day.
Okay, aku rasa dah boleh dah. Cuma nanti dekat part sifat tu aku akan cut nanti. Tak tahu kenapa tiba-tiba dia stop.